Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through some MLB player props I like for Saturday, July the 16th. We do have a big MLB slate on Saturday, got 16 games actually. We do have a doubleheader between the Mets and the Cubs, so we got a full slate of games. Most of the games today are during the early afternoon between 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern time. That's when we have like 10 or 11 of the 16 games. I think there's maybe 5 games at night. So we are going to talk about some plays that I do like in some of these early games. I did want to go ahead and get this video up the night before like I always do, recording this on Friday night. Hopefully by the time you are watching this, these games haven't started yet and you can get all these plays in. But we'll share 3 plays I like for today. I found 3 props, taking a first look at the board on Friday night. We'll share why I like these plays. Just before we do get started, guys, we can recap the plays that we gave out on Friday. Gave out 3 plays Friday, and Friday was another tough day for us. We only went 1 and 2 on our 3 plays. But once again, we missed out. One of our plays got injured. On Thursday, we missed out on Luis Severino's over strikeouts. He had to leave the game early after 2 innings, and then went on the IL the day after. And then on Friday, we took Luis Robert over 1.5 bases, and he got 1 at bat. And then after his 1 at bat, he got pulled from the game. I think they said like he was lightheaded or felt some dizziness. So that was an unfortunate way to lose that pick. And then we took the over on Jose Abreu's fantasy score. Took him over 7 fantasy points, and he only finished with 5 fantasy points, but like the White Sox, they scored runs like I thought they would. They scored 6 runs, they had 8 hits. It's just unfortunate that Abreu was not one of the guys contributing to that. I think Tim Anderson hit like a solo home run. Adam Engel, the guy that actually replaced Robert, he came in, hit a 3-run home run. Those were the 2 guys that kind of were most of the offense. Abreu didn't really contribute much. I think he had a single and a walk. Those were the 5 fantasy points that he scored. That's how he scored them. So that was kind of annoying. We did hit the over, though, on C.J. Cron's total bases. Took that over 1.5. And C.J. Cron did hit a home run for us, I think, in the 6th or 7th inning. And obviously went over his bases. So 1 and 2 on Friday. Not a good day. But we're going to keep grinding it out, guys. Going to continue to trust the process. Just every day that I come on here and I give out these plays to you guys, I'm always putting my money behind my own plays. And I also always want to feel like I'm giving out good information. Even on the days where our plays don't hit, I want to look back and say, I feel like I gave out good information or, good analysis behind that pick. I just don't want to come on here and just, ramble and just say nonsense. I always want to feel like I'm giving out good information, good analysis, have the research to back that up. So just going to continue to trust the process, guys. I know, MLB has been really tough lately, but we're just going to continue to grind it out, and I know it's going to turn around at some point. So we'll talk through the 3 plays I like for today, guys. Just before we get started, as always, please hit that like button if you do enjoy these MLB videos. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet, and also if you are new to Prizepicks, and if you have not checked out Prizepicks, get over there, sign up, use promo code NOAH. Prizepicks will actually match your first deposit up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. If you bet player props on any other sportsbook or any other DFS site and you haven't checked Prizepicks out, highly recommend you give them a try. They have a lot of props available for MLB. This is their board right now as of Friday night, but obviously as we get closer to the start of these games on Saturday, they're going to add even more props to the board. They have PGA up right now, WNBA, the basketball tournament, summer league. Like Prizepicks has so many sports, so many options. You can mix and match sports. It's a lot of fun. Get over there, sign up, use code NOAH, and get your first deposit matched up to $100. And another thing, guys, if you enjoy these YouTube videos, they help you out a lot. You want to get more Prizepicks plays from me, I provide those over on Patreon. If you're interested in checking out the Patreon, it's always linked down below in the description for those of you that are interested. But for Saturday, let's start off in the first inning prop, and the first inning runs allowed prop section, I should say. And I know this is one, this is a category that some people like betting, some people don't. Some people don't like betting. But there is one first inning prop that I do like quite a bit for today. It's one that we took pretty recently, and it came through for us, and I'm liking it again for today. And it's the over in the Rockies Pirates game. So basically, we're taking the Yerfie. We're saying that a run will be scored in the first inning. And normally when there's a game being played in Coors Field where the Rockies play, it's usually always going to be appealing to look at hitter props because Coors Field is the most hitter-friendly ballpark in the league, and you kind of see that in the totals. Every day that there's a game in Coors, usually the totals are going to be pretty high, and that's once again the case for Saturday. It's going to be a day game. It's expected to be 92 degrees in Colorado, so it's going to be really hot, really humid. The ball should be carrying far. We have a 5.6 implied run total for the Pirates, 6.2 implied run total for the Rockies, so a 12 implied total in this game. We got two pretty average to below average pitchers going up against each other in Mitch Keller and Jose Urena. Like the Pirates offense is not good, so I could see Urena like kind of just maybe giving up like 2 or 3 runs, pitching like 5 or 6 innings. Maybe he doesn't get completely shelled today. But the Rockies, they do have a good offense, especially the top of that lineup. Connor Joe is a good hitter. He doesn't strike out much. He puts the ball in play. Obviously, Chris Bryant's a really good hitter. Charlie Blackmon's a really good hitter and has always played really well in Coors Field. CJ Cron has a ton of power, so I think this Rockies lineup can definitely do some damage against Mitch Keller. Obviously, the Pirates, they don't have that great of a lineup, but Jose Urena is also not that good of a pitcher either. We don't have a ton of, stats to look at Urena just because he hasn't pitched a ton this season, but he has been in the league for a while, and he's never really been like that great of a pitcher. He's always been a very low strikeout pitcher as well. He only has a 9% K rate this season, which is one of the lowest that you'll see. He's always been really bad against lefties as well, and that's another thing that has stayed true this season. Giving up a 440 WOBA, 211 ISO to lefties this year, and the Pirates should have a lot of lefties in their lineup. Right now, their projected lineup has 7 lefties in it. There's 3 lefties or 5. Out of the top 8 hitters, 7 of them are lefties. Ke'Bryan Hayes, the only righty that he'll probably face in the first inning. So, if we can get some guys on base, Urena does have like a 12% walk rate. I could definitely see the Pirates scoring a run in the first inning. If they don't score a run in the first inning, then we could flip it over to Colorado. And you look at Colorado, we talked about how good their lineup is, especially at the top of that lineup. Mitch Keller's another guy that doesn't have a ton of strikeout stuff, just a 19% K rate this year. He's going to let you put the ball in play. And when you're letting guys put the ball in play in Coors Field, usually it's not going to go very well for you. It's hard to have success in Coors Field if you can't strike guys out, just because the ballpark is so hitter friendly that you have to be able to avoid those long balls. You have to be able to avoid hard contact, and that's not really something that Mitch Keller does. He definitely will give up hard contact. He'll give up home runs. He doesn't really get strikeouts, so I like this prop quite a bit. I think we should see a relatively high-scoring game here in Colorado on Saturday, and I think there's a good chance that there is a run scored in the first inning. And another thing that I do like to look at when I'm taking these first-inning props is look at the odds. And right now, the over 0.5 runs in the first inning for the Rockies-Pirates game, it's minus 170 on DraftKings Sportsbook. Normally, if I was betting on a sportsbook, I would never take a heavily juiced prop for first inning just because these are kind of volatile. Even a heavily juiced prop, it's not like it's guaranteed to hit. But on Prizepicks, it's a fixed payout. That's one of the reasons I like playing on Prizepicks. You can take these heavily juiced props and not really be penalized for that. It all pays out the same, no matter if you're taking a plus 130 prop or a minus 180 prop. It all pays out the same. So you do want to look for these heavily juiced props, these ones that are more likely to hit. And this is the one first inning prop that I really did like for today, and it's the over in the Pirates and Rockies game, taking the Yerfy, as people like to say. But moving on to the other 2 props I like for today, they're both going to be pitcher fantasy scores and going to be targeting some matchups here. There's definitely some matchups for pitchers that I like for today, some guys in good spots. One of those guys in a good spot is Justin Verlander. He gets to face the Athletics at home, and I know the 42.5 pitcher fantasy score number does seem kind of high, but Verlander has gone over this, and I think half of his starts this season, he's gotten at least 43 fantasy points in 8 out of 16 starts, I do believe. I just want to confirm that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 8 out of 16 starts this year, Verlander has at least 43 fantasy points. And this is a matchup where Verlander should just be able to dominate. The Athletics have probably one of the worst lineups in baseball. If you look at where they rank versus right-handed pitching this season, they have the worst batting average in the league versus righties. On base percentage, they are dead last in that category as well. They are second to last in slugging. OPS, Oakland is dead last in OPS. They are, third to last in ISO. WRC plus, Oakland ranks second to last. And even strikeout rate, they're a team that will strike out. If you look at where they rank in terms of K rate, they have the 7th highest strikeout rate, 23.8%. versus righties this year. Obviously, Justin Verlander is an elite pitcher. He's a pretty solid strikeout pitcher. By no means is he an elite strikeout pitcher. He doesn't have a 35% K rate or anything, but so far this year, 24.6% K rate for Justin Verlander. He's a very good pitcher at limiting hard contact. He gets a lot of soft contact. He has a really low walk rate, so he's always has good command. He can put the ball in the zone when he needs to. this Oakland lineup is just not scary. They have a lot of just weak, a lot of easy outs in this lineup, a lot of weak hitters, and there definitely are some strikeouts in this lineup too. 29% K rate for Stephen Vogt if he's in the lineup. I mean, a lot of guys, basically 6 of the 9 hitters in their projected lineup have K rates above 20% this season. Really, the only guys that haven't been striking out this year are Machine, I think that's how you say his name, and he's kind of a small sample size. He hasn't been in the league a ton this season. And then Elvis Andrews is a tough guy to strike out. Tony Kemp is a tough guy to strike out, but everyone else you can definitely K. And Verlander, obviously a pitcher that can get strikeouts. He always is going to pitch deep into games. Very likely to get a quality start here. Also, pretty likely to get a win too. We actually don't have the implied run totals yet for this Astros Athletics game, but I would assume with Jared Koenig pitching for the Athletics, not sure how to say his name. I looked up some of his stats. Like he's got like a 6.5 ERA this year. This is definitely a spot where the Astros should be able to put up some runs against him, give Verlander some run support so that Verlander can maybe get a win as well. Like I could definitely see Verlander pitching 7 innings, maybe giving up 1 or 2 runs, getting like 5, 6, 7 strikeouts, probably getting a win and a quality start. Definitely can go over 43 fantasy points. I was looking at his strikeout prop for today. It's set at 6.5 right now. So far this season, like there's only been 1 start this year where Verlander has gotten 7 strikeouts but not 43 fantasy points, and it was his first start of the season against the Angels. He only went 5 innings. First start of the season is not something I really like to look at because guys are always going to be pretty limited in their first start of the season. They're going to be on a pitch count. I don't exactly know. Let me see how many pitches Justin Verlander threw in that start. So he only threw 80 pitches in that start. That's the only start where Verlander has gotten 7 strikeouts but not 43 fantasy points. Every other start this year where he's gotten over 7 Ks or more, he's also gotten 43 fantasy points. And there's been some starts where he's gotten less than 7 Ks but still gone over fantasy. So I feel a little bit better about fantasy for Verlander. I would think if he gets 7 strikeouts, he's probably going over fantasy, and I could definitely see him maybe only getting 5 or 6 strikeouts but still hitting his fantasy just because Verlander can pitch deep into games. He should be able to get a win here. Like there's plenty of ways to get 43 fantasy points for Verlander today, but it's obviously a great matchup. I think it's a great spot for Verlander, and he should be able to dominate against this Athletics team. So I like his over 42.5 fantasy score as our second prop for today. And then our third and final prop, again, we're going to be targeting a matchup here. Love the spot for Julio Urias, and I'm liking his over 36.5 fantasy score going up against the Angels. The Angels just continue to struggle this season. They've been really struggling at the plate. They have not been hitting the ball well, and they've been striking out a ton this year, especially as of late. You look at where they rank this season versus left-handed pitching, 4th highest K rate, 24.7% K rate this year. Their stats, pretty below average. I mean, they're a little bit less than league average in terms of batting average. The Angels rank 24th, so they're bottom 10 in that category. In terms of on-base percentage, they rank 23rd. Bottom 10 in that category. In terms of slugging, they are a little bit higher in slugging, or actually they're bottom 10 in slugging as well. 27th in slugging. OPS, the Angels rank 26. I mean, every metric you look at is pretty bad for the Angels. They strike out a lot as well. And their stats over the last 30 days are just as bad. Like they've been striking out a ton over their last 30 days. Second highest K rate. Again, their offensive metrics are still towards the bottom. Pretty much bottom 10 in every offensive metric. So it's a really good spot for Julio Urias. I mean, we saw what Clayton Kershaw did on Friday night. Clayton Kershaw pitched 8 innings. He had a perfect game going through 7 innings. I think he finished with like 50-something fantasy points, pitched 8 innings, 6 strikeouts, got a win. Like it was a great game from Kershaw. Not saying that Urias is going to do that today, but I could definitely see him pitching 6, 7 innings, getting 5, 6, 7 strikeouts. I mean, this is obviously a matchup where he should be able to get strikeouts. The only bats that you really worry about in the Angels lineup are, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani. The rest of this lineup is just not that scary. And again, like there's a lot of strikeouts in this lineup. I mean, so far this season, Brandon Marsh, like if he's in the lineup, he's got a 39% K rate against lefties, 24% K rate for Max Stassi, 24% for Joe Adell. Stefanik, it's a small sample size, but he's got a really high K rate, 45% this year versus lefties. Ohtani has a 25% K rate versus lefties. We'll have to see if Trout's in the lineup. I know Trout's kind of been banged up lately, but I think it's a great spot for Urias. He definitely should be able to dominate this Angels team. I don't really see the Angels putting up many runs here. Kind of similar to Verlander, I think this is another spot we could expect Urias to get a win. Right now, the Dodgers have a 5.1 implied run total, where the Angels have a 3.7 implied total. Dodgers minus 195 money line favorites. So lot of checks for Urias here. A lot of the boxes are checked today. Should get a quality start. Should get some strikeouts as well, and definitely could get a win too. So I really like his over 36.5 fantasy score as our third and final play for today. And this is what I'm liking for Saturday's games. Again, we do have some early games today, guys. I think between of the 16 games we have today, like 10 or 11 of the 16 games are being played between 2 and 4 p.m. Eastern time. So kind of a day where we have a lot of early afternoon games, but there's still a couple of night games. Again, these props, there's 2 afternoon props, and then we have 1 prop in the late games. Hopefully, these afternoon props will hit, and then we'll have kind of our late night sweat with Urias, and hopefully he comes through and we can get a clean sweep on Saturday. But again, this is what I'm liking for Saturday's slate, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it did help. Hit that like button before you do get out of here. Hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Again, check out Prizepicks. Make sure to sign up for Prizepicks. Use promo code NOAH. When you do, get your first deposit matched up to $100 when you do sign up with my promo code. And another thing, if you really enjoy these YouTube videos, if they help you out a lot, you want to get more Prizepicks plays from me, I provide those over on Patreon. If you're interested in checking out the Patreon, it's linked down below in the description. But good luck today, guys. Thanks as always for watching these videos. I hope you did enjoy. We will see you in the next one. Peace.